Hey campers, welcome to Total Drama Wiki interview here at Camp Wawanakwa. I'm lying, we're not at Camp Wawanakwa, we're just in a park somewhere. So I'm gonna do the interview. Ready? Do you think Chris is a good host? Why or why not? And that comes from Zach. Well, you know what? I do think Chris is a good host. Why? Because I don't know what else he'd do with his life. If you were to really host a reality show, do you think you would act like Chris or you would act differently? If you would pick the latter, how would you act? That's from Wiki Batman. Batman? Wiki Batman? If I was to really host a reality show, do you think I would act like Chris? Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I don't know how I would act, really. That's a tricky question. But can I get back to you on that one? Are you like Chris in any way? Also, you do a great job with voicing Chris. Thanks. That's from Duncan's girl. Duncan's girl. That's cute. I think there's elements of me that are like Chris, but not really a lot. I think everybody has a little bit of Chris McLean inside them. Are you the one who came up with Chris's narcissistic and sadistic attitude towards the contestants? And that's from Big Easy. No, I'm not actually. The writers of Total Drama and the creator, Tom McGillis and Jennifer Perch, they came up with the sadistic and narcissistic attitude. I just read the lines. Funny thing about that is when I auditioned for Total Drama, I didn't really audition for Chris at all. It was an afterthought. I went through, I read for Zeke. Oh, you know what? I brought in and I read like 3 or 4 and then wasn't quite doing it and wasn't quite feeling it because I think they felt like I sounded a lot like Jude from 16. So then as I was about to leave, Tom McGillis goes, "Hey, here, just read this one." It was Chris. So I just spun it off. And Tom McGillis said, "I'll never forget this. He's doing something interesting there." Huh, there's a little fact. Anyways, yeah. So it's the writers, not me. I just naturally have tones of sadistic nature inside me. Chris were a contestant. Who do you think he'd be in a relationship with? And that's from Nylid Renrut, legendary. If Chris were a contestant, who do you think he'd be in a relationship with? Ooh, Lindsay? For obvious reasons. Purely physical. Yeah, Lindsay's hot. If you didn't voice Chris, what contestants on both seasons of the show would you voice and why? And that comes from Logan Leo. Logan Leo? Logan Leo. You know what? I don't know. I think everyone who voices the characters, they own it so much. Just like I kind of own the McLean. So I don't know, man. I'd want to, though. I'd want to voice Owen because I think Owen is the funniest character on there. I like him. He's just so funny. He's quirky. What is up with the relationship between Chris and Chef? And that is from Gwen Is Not. Got one word for you, TDI fans. Bromance. That's what's up. Bromance. Do you think that Chris is a relatable character relative to you? And that's from Free Hugs 41. Do I think Chris is a relatable character? Of course he is. You know what? He's the kind of guy. I used to go to high school with this guy. I'm not going to mention his name, Dominic. But he's the kind of guy that would laugh at you with food in his mouth. You know what I mean? We all work with these guys. We've all known these guys. Some of them are my best friends now. But yeah, so there's relatability. What elimination is your favorite so far? Awesome work airing the host. And that is from DJ Fan. You know what? They're all good. They're all good eliminations. Why? Because they get kicked off and leave more airtime for Chris. That's one less person hogging my lines, my airspace. Was Chris always sadistic, or was there something in his life that made him this way? And that's from Calvin Coolidge. Was Chris always sadistic, or was there something in his life that made him be this way? Well, Calvin, you know what? I think that we all over time, sort of, as we grow older, we plateau at certain parts of our life, and we just sort of level off there. And I think something for sure happened to Chris. I haven't really thought about it. I didn't really do much backstory on it, but I just accept Chris for who he is. I mean, he's a jerk, kind of a knob sometimes, but he's our jerk and he's our knob. So maybe he's acting this way and it's a cry for help. But let me ask you something. Would you help Chris out? Who do you think Chris dislikes the most out of all the contestants on the show? TDI Fan 13. You know what? He doesn't like Heather. Straight up. Does not like Heather. Heather.